Hello, I'm Michael Belcher, National Vice President of Child Safety and Quality Assurance at Boys and Girls Clubs of America. As a safety professional with over 25 years of experience, my passions are safety systems, continuous improvement, and making sure people go home safe and sound every single day. Clearly, COVID-19 has impacted our work in many ways, especially ability to conduct business as usual. That's probably not going to change anytime soon. Nonetheless, when the time is right, I look forward to visiting more clubs and meeting more of you face to face. Despite the challenges posed by the pandemic, our safety goal remains unchanged: to deploy a comprehensive, world-class child safety system that protects all club members and sets a new standard for youth safety and protection to become the leader in youth protection and abuse prevention. To realize this goal, we are committed to several strategic safety priorities. The most complex of these priorities is to develop and roll out a multi-tiered assessment system that delivers a high level of quality assurance to fulfill our safety and cultural expectations. Going forward, we expect quality assurance assessments to be done both internally by board safety committees and staff, and externally by contacts outside the organization. Rollout of the Quality Assurance Pilot Program began this summer. After testing the self-assessment program with our new online tool, we conducted on-site visits at several clubs in Michigan, Arizona, and Wyoming, with many more to come. During this pilot phase, we're testing several assumptions, such as the average amount of time it takes to complete an assessment, the effectiveness of our assessment methods, the functionality of our online tool, and our ability to assist clubs in resolving any safety opportunities that might arise. Our club visits have been very positive, with CEOs and staff members helping us, clarifying some of our questions, providing instructive guidance, and streamlining the process, including enhancing and automating our assessment tool and shifting a lot of the document review process online, which allows us to maximize our on-site time for discussion and other things. Establishing a network of peer consultants is another critical piece of the assessment framework. We're currently in the early phases of recruiting local leaders to serve as peer consultants. By year's end, we plan to have 20 to 25 consultants on board with full activation by January 2021. We've also signed an agreement with Presidium, an organization that specializes in child abuse prevention at youth-serving organizations, to conduct an evaluation of our club's safety practices. They will also help validate our assessment process by conducting approximately 20 to 30 third-party audits using our assessment tool. Another major priority is to activate new membership requirements. While many of these practices have already been in place, the Boys and Girls Clubs National Council voted to make the following Phase 1 membership requirements mandatory for all Boys and Girls Club organizations. Rehire eligibility information must be obtained for those who once worked at a club before they can work or volunteer at a club. Existing requirements around so-called barrier crimes were enhanced to prohibit job candidates from working or volunteering at a club. Licensing inspection failures must be reported to BGCA within 24 hours. Safety committees will be standardized to ensure each is held accountable to the same metrics and responsibilities. Every clubhouse must prominently display safety resource information, including the Child Safety Helpline and Crisis Text Line. Clubs must inform parents and guardians of safety policies when they receive a youth membership application. And finally, the language of some previous requirements have been clarified with respect to background checks, reference check findings, critical incident reporting, safety committee roles, and sharing critical information. All of the new requirements will go into effect on January 1st, 2021. To ensure every organization is prepared to implement them, we'll be providing you with several resources. This will include a step-by-step activation guide, one-on-one consultations with safety directors upon request, a dedicated web page, and webinars with question and answer sessions. Activating these new requirements is going to take strong local leadership, which is why I encourage you to start engaging your board safety committee now. Your committee will be very pivotal in getting the new policies and procedures implemented, applied consistently, and reviewed regularly. To ensure your committee is properly staffed and engaged, I urge you to use our Safety Committee Toolkit and participate in online learning sessions hosted by your Regional Safety Director. To close, I'd like to discuss the independent third-party review of Boys and Girls Clubs of America's safety policies by RAINN, which issued its final report in August. Among its conclusions, RAINN reported that BGCA made significant strides in sexual misconduct prevention and response programming while continuing to roll out new initiatives to protect communities and to keep kids safe. They also identified some areas where we can continue to improve. Some of the actions BGCA will take to enhance safety at clubs include the following. Continue to enhance our sexual abuse prevention policies, practices, and trainings with a more comprehensive approach to be responsive to individuals' needs and well-being, a best practice in healthcare and school-based settings. Hire additional safety staff to focus solely on this strategy to develop best practices and help clubs throughout the movement implement them. As I mentioned, safety directors are available in each region for consultation, counseling, and other support. Upgrade our incident reporting system to enhance reporting, response, and fact-finding. This is happening right now. Make training more accessible and comprehensive for local club staff and executives on BGCA intranet and resource sites, while increasing the amount of in-person and virtual trainings. Update our assets from a trauma-informed perspective, and provide more public-facing resources for staff, families, and youth on bgca.org. I encourage all of you to visit our safety website, bgca.net/safety, where you can find an executive summary of the RAINN report. On that site, you'll also find a document called the RAINN Immediate Action and Club Resources Guide. This resource identifies RAINN-identified best practices for youth-serving organizations and immediate actions that clubs can take to start putting these practices into place. In order to drive collective achievement of our aims in supporting safety and well-being, here are 2 things you can do. Number 1, educate board volunteers on the findings and best practices and motivate them to take action against the practices identified. 2, identify opportunities to exchange information, learnings, and practices across club organizations in those areas identified by RAINN. Boys and girls clubs are just as necessary now as they were over 160 years ago, because as long as there are kids, there will be clubs, and as long as there are clubs, kids will have a safe place. Thank you for everything you do to make this possible.